except for you're in your 60s. You've been drinking pretty good for the last 40 years. You have cataracts. Your grip isn't what it was. The ladder's not been set up properly, and it's raining. And you get up and you fall off. All these guys fall off.
I know. Well, I mean, look, my old man was only 42, and he was still in good shape, and he did the wrong thing. He swung a hammer. My father.
Donnie, didn't your wife's dad die? Or not wife's dad, but didn't? No. Your cousin's wife's dad died falling off a ladder.
Yes.
Well, you're right about women. Like you never. I'm sorry about that, by the way, Donnie.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Is Donnie doing the Cheech movie for Cheech Marin?
He looks like it.
Oh my God, look at that.
Standing in for Cheech.
Either that or Doug Henning. But no, you're right. A woman, you never hear about a woman getting paralyzed vacuuming.
Right,
You know,
right. No,
or
guys-
making a grilled cheese sandwich.
Right. Guys fall off ladders and your dad was paralyzed.
Yeah,
right?
he became a quadriplegic. But what my father did was, my old man, he was unlike me in the sense that he wasn't an addict. And I write about this in my book. He never did drugs, maybe smoked a J here or there, but never did drugs, barely drank, and wasn't a gambler either. My old man told me another word for gambler is loser because you work hard for your money, and I have all those vices.
Right.
But his big thing was he was addicted to the scam. He grew up on the streets in Newark, 14th Avenue in Newark, and just in dirt poverty. And he learned how to, those almost like the angels with dirty faces, like the Bowery Boys, like stealing an apple or something. You start out with that. And the ladder he fell off of, he stole. Like the lawyer said, like as soon as a lawyer hears someone's a quadriplegic, they immediately know there's somebody to sue because the jury doesn't even give a fuck about if you're right or wrong. They just feel sorry for you, so they award you money. So this lawyer that got this other kid money met with us, and he sits down. He goes, "We're going to sue the ladder company. Real simple." And my father was like, there's a problem with that. He's like, what? I stole it. And also he couldn't reach the top of the roof, so he put the ladder on a picnic table and climbed up. That's what he used to do. My father thought he was Superman,
Right.
And on a roof he did anything. So he was on the top rung trying to hammer a nail in to secure a wire for an antenna, and it wobbled and he fell. So
now he was working.
He was working, yeah. He was, making a living. That's what he did for a living. And he fell 30 feet right on his head. And, again, look, my old man always thought the last 4 years of his life he was a quadriplegic and couldn't move. And he was, he wasn't a reader. He was a physical guy. It was a living hell. It would be once a week he asked me to kill him. He would ask me to kill him.
Really?
And he asked everyone. And I told my other cousins, my guy cousins, some of his crazy friends from Newark, he said, yeah, Artie, he used to ask us every day. And I would say to him, Dad, I know you're in hell, but what if I did that? What about me? I'm your son. I'm 19. What if they put me away forever? And he's like, leave the pills here. I'll get them in my mouth somehow. Like, he was that tortured.
Really?
And he always thought he was paying for his sins. I'm like, well, Dad, to the best of my knowledge, he never killed anybody. I mean, Hitler didn't go through this. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, what'd you do that was so fucking bad? And I mean, he had tremendous guilt, and of course, he didn't believe in God. He said to me, "There's nothing up there," And,
well, he didn't believe in God, but yet he thought he was being punished cosmically.
Well, he just thought my old man believed in like street justice, and maybe he didn't believe in God, but maybe he thought there was an entity out there like that fucked with you, karma, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
At the end, there was a Monsignor, this Irish guy, not one of the priests who fucks kids, a good guy. He would meet with my father, and he claimed after my father died that he made peace with God. I don't know what that means, but I
always do that.
Yeah, right. Exactly. My old man's, now he's cutting his losses. Yeah. But he'd say, like, what happened with the ladder was, he went to a store in Jersey, a big department store. Well, Sears, Sears, right. Sears Roebuck, and there was a guy from Bell Atlantic, the phone company. The truck was there, and he had the ladder up to the roof, and it was a nice ladder. And my father just took the ladder and put it on his van and drove away. So,
right.
I go,
how old was your dad at this point?
When he stole the ladder?
Yeah,
by about 38.
Oh, so it wasn't like
no, he was addicted to
childish pranks.
He was a kleptomaniac.
Really?
But look, first of all,
also ladders. I got to say, as a guy who always worked as a carpenter, and who needed ladders, and needed tools. There's certain tools that are sort of, you feel like buying tools is weird because you're essentially using them to complete a job to get paid.
Right.
But you don't make money with the tool. I mean, you do make money with the tool, but it costs you money. Like it's like if you did stand-up and you had to buy the microphone.
Well, like Carrot Top has a lot of overhead.
Right.
You know, right.
He's got a steamer trunk.
Right.
With shit.
Carrot Top's got to, build a shed before he tells a joke.
Right. But there's some tools.
Right.
Don't feel like buying a cordless drill feels great.
Right.
Buying a router feels great.
A router's a cool tool.
Feels cool. It's like I just bought a Porter cable router. It's got a 1/2-inch chuck. I got the 1/4-inch reducer.
Chuck.
It feels great.
And a
Cordless
router's
drill
great to use on your wife when she doesn't listen.
random, or if the black guys don't work, get out the router. The Sawzall, another good one to use when the old lady's not paying attention.
I thought you said black guys.
Oh, no, black.
If the black guys don't work, get out the router.
So, and you at this point, all I have to do is fire it up, and she knows. I don't have to use it on her anymore. Just the familiar sound of it. It's like when the dog hears the can opener.
Right.
She gets in line.
If my dog sees me light a cigarette, he knows to behave himself.
Right. So, doesn't feel good on the balls, does it?
Right. Exactly. So, you're shitting in the living room again. Come here, Fido.
But to be fair to your dad.
Well, I'm trying to be, and I'm not doing it. I'm making him sound like Manson.
I'm going to help him. I'm going to help him.
Yeah.
Certain tools feels shitty to buy, like ladders and work tables and sawhorses.
Well, he didn't buy anything.
And ladders are expensive.
Right.
Ladders are like for a good extension ladder, and evidently this one didn't extend quite far enough.
32 feet. He needed a 40-footer.
And he almost got a hernia stealing the picnic table.
That's a good one. Don't talk about my father
really
like that,
sorry.
you fuck. My father would never steal a picnic table. Go fuck yourself. What an asshole.
So the point is,
put out another lavender shirt.
No one wants to spend $280 on a ladder.
Right.
A router feels good. Ladder feels like shit. So in his defense, he's stealing a tool that nobody really wants to pay for.
And here's my father's crazy logic. If
and
it
was given to him from the guy worked for Bell.
Right, well,
he didn't come out of his
here
own
was
pocket.
my father. Exactly. You hit on the point. This was my father's crazy logic. We would say, well, how do you think the guy got down from the roof? Well, I'm sure. And my father go, well, he got down. Everything was all right. Mm-hmm. And he probably told Bell, I need another ladder. If it was Ed's Roofing Company, he wouldn't have stolen a ladder because it's like that guy needs it. But because it was he feels like he was stealing from a corporation that rips us off for long distance phone calls. Right. Like that was his logic. Well, yeah. So when we told the lawyer that it was a stolen ladder, he didn't know what the fuck to do. He fell off a house. Talk about shit luck.